best of 7, the Chiefs and Avant. To call all the action, it's over to our casters, Jimmy and Jake.
And of course, we begin here. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back here for the semi-finals. My name is Jake Hysterics-Ozzy-Penko, joined by the lovely James Gymnesso Cowan. Actually got it right this week, so give me some props there. And this is a big matchup, as I say, every single week, but more so because now we're speaking more elimination.
That's right, we don't lie. Every matchup's a big matchup.
I hope not.
More than ever now, for the Chiefs, they need to cement their spot in the finals, and they want to stamp their authority on this competition, so they want to go through more than ever.
Stamping authority.
Yeah.
I like that, yeah, no.
I know. As a stamp collector, I haven't got the authority stamp yet.
No, but you will get it this week, depending on how this goes. For Melbourne Avant, this first game is crucial, Jim, and let's talk a little bit more about that. If they can get this series started, this will mean a lot for them.
They will. They need to come out of the gates red hot here, and they need to dictate the pace of play from the get-go. As David said, they need to start, pushing Chiefs around a little bit more, those bumps, those demos, getting them off their regular game. The pace of this game is going to be what really is the difference between the two teams. Chiefs do play a faster game, and last week when we saw Order challenging them, it was a faster game that they brought.
But let's start off, ladies and gentlemen, the first semi-final, and already Melbourne Avant a surprising goal before I can even introduce our very first final.
And I tell you what, this is what they needed to do. They needed to come out of the gates red hot. They needed to be firing, and Plitz, momentary lapse in concentration there from the Chiefs, fully capitalised on.
But remember, for Melbourne Avant, they have only 3-0'd or been 3-0'd. They have never taken a game away without winning the entire series. That's why this first game is so crucial. The Chiefs have dropped 4, 2 on the sub roster. So they've dropped 2 to Melbourne Order, but had 3-0'd Melbourne Avant. Think about that in the back of your mind while Melbourne Avant are on the defense. Immediately, Sydney Chiefs have kind of brought it back, but that 10-second goal is going to be huge. A miss there. Still capitalised by Melbourne Avant as Torsos reads for the ball, and Sydney Chiefs keeping on this attack. Let's try to get it out. Zen situating that well. Good pass over to Sammy, but it misses. This opens up Torsos, and the Chiefs can immediately start this one off. Drippe waiting there patiently as well. Jake brings it back in, a light touch, and Melbourne Avant all out of sorts right now. Sticking on the defense. Hopefully they can turn it around.
Just trying to work without boost. But Blitz going forward. He's been quiet so far in the Elite Series. He hasn't been up to a standard that we've seen from him in the past, but 2 goals already in the first match. That's a great way to shake that off.
But they're being a bit creative with the passes. I mean, Sammy played the ball slow. Drippe was expecting the immediate pass of Melbourne Avant. 2 early goals. Already a bit of a surprise in game 1. If they can take one from the Chiefs, imagine what else is possible. Sammy set up nicely. Jake, easy defense, blocks it away. But Plitz is not done. He's run out of boost, will not get the corner boost. This is stolen away by Jake. For the right wing, they now hold. Zen there, losing the ball. Torsos in the midfield, pushing up alongside Jake and Drippe. The Chiefs playing it back a little bit. Already 2 goals behind. It's a bit of a worry. But they've been behind before, Jim. They've been able to carry it back. So it's not over yet. Melbourne Avant have to keep up the pressure.
And they know that the Chiefs are just able to absorb that pressure as well. So for them, it's about maintaining it over the course of the entire match. Making sure that they don't make many mistakes, because Chiefs, they will capitalise, they will punish you.
Almost the first one.
For a loose ball at the back. And they need to get rid of it. They need to get those passing plays initiated once again, but there's a chance.
Oh, Zen only just, but Sammy has to commit as well. Blitz misses it, Sammy back, and Zen will finally clear it all the way out. Close calls here for Melbourne Avant, but the Chiefs unable to capitalise just yet. Drippe off the backboard and roof, it'll bounce, but Sammy, with a good read there, will try and clear it from the midfield. Blocked again by Chiefs, and they're immediately back where they started. Melbourne Avant, 1 clear, changes everything. No block, Zen, the ball goes over the top of him. Blitz, a crucial clear again, and Melbourne Avant back on the good foot, doing the good thing. Melbourne Avant right in front of net. This is exactly where they want to be. With a 2-0 start. The pass goes mid, and Jake has a shot. No one's able to get there, and the Chiefs are back with a goal.
And they answer back quite quickly, 2-0. One of the most dangerous leads to have, because a single goal can really swing things against you. In a game like Rocket League, things are end-to-end quite fast. We know Chiefs, they love to play out from the back. Those clears, they're always a threat from any point. So Avant just need to make sure that they're very, very tidy in the way that they play, because Jake is always looming. Torsos is always looming. And we always know the threat that Drippe possesses as well.
And goes for the double touch off the backboard. Sammy brings it back onto that set backboard, and Plitz was there coming directly down the field. All the way, Chiefs have committed to this wing. Drippe's there, steals the ball away, and Plitz not a good enough touch. The Chiefs should be able to play with this ball. Jake goes high. Unfortunate. Chiefs still running out of time here, 2 minutes remaining. You'd say there's plenty of time. Yes, definitely for the Chiefs. But the way Melbourne Avant have been controlling this pitch, who knows? A good block there, Trippe again. Now with the demo for Zen. Can they breach that defense? The answer's no as it clears there. Missed touch, Sammy comes through. Blitz now, the shot again. Melbourne Avant. What a surprise in this game one.
And it brings up the hat-trick for Blitz as well. So he's been a real revelation for them in the sense that he's getting further up the field. His shots on goal, I think this is actually equal to his season total in one game.
I think it is.
So in terms of him putting numbers on the board, they need to be the next one to score, and they certainly were. But can they hold for the next minute and 40 seconds against a team like Chiefs? That's the question.
They're playing so dangerously there. His defensive pass is just not working out. Intercepts again and demolitions the aggressive play that Yummy was talking about. Also talking to Courier backstage then! Oh my lord! Let's hold that for a second as we watch this beautiful pass and beautiful angle from Zen once again.
Now, he said he was going to do less of that. If it's going to produce quality goals like that, please bring more.
Oh, Melbourne
bring more.
Against the Chiefs. 4-0 predicted by Yummy Cheeseman. All of us, all casters and analysts, predicted the Chiefs to pretty much 4-0 or take away a series win, but this is not a good start. The Sydney Chiefs are on the back foot with a minute 15 remaining. Torsos pikes it up for Drippe to come back in off the backboard. It's dunking down. Jake misses. Torsos to finish it, but Blitz hits it away. And that one last play could have just been the defining comeback for the Chiefs, but it has been denied by Melbourne Avant.
And there was a chance for a goal there, which is taken by Drippe.
55 seconds, 2 goals possible by the Chiefs, but we need to see it.
Just that passing play once again. Great pass there from Torsos. Really opened up for Drippe. But Avant, if they were going to win this, they needed to lead from the front. They needed to dictate the pace of play. They've certainly delivered on that front. The question is, can they hold it? Can they maintain? I think that what they need to do is continue what they've been doing for the past 3 minutes and basically just going forward attacking. Blitz has been a great outlet for them. And if they can maintain, because attack is the best form of defense, particularly against a team like Chiefs, you can't sit back and let them come at you.
Well, 40 seconds trying to play through time now, but an intercept. Drippe has just brought it back for the Chiefs. 1 goal difference, 40 seconds. And this is the issue. If you drop your guard in front of the Chiefs, even with that disadvantage, they'll find their way back.
And this just really sets up a tense 38 seconds. It's going to be the longest 38 seconds here for Avant to try and maintain and hold on to this lead. But it's only so narrow at the moment. They need to go forward. Blitz might have a chance there, but he's bumped
away by Jake.
But it goes
bump at that. Chiefs will now set themselves up. Drippe, that's a shot again. Great defense from Sammy. Melbourne Avant, was that all they needed? 20 seconds to find the answer here, Jim Nesso.
Need to make sure that they keep their boost levels high here, Avant. They need to be fast to the ball. The Chiefs are beating them out. They don't really stand a chance.
Jake around the wing, last shot here. Sydney Chiefs hit the backboard. Drippe waiting patiently from the corner. Jake's up for the ball, but a crucial touch by Zen. He'll clear it away. And Melbourne Avant, have they done it? Have they taken their first game win against the Chiefs here in the Gfinity Elite Series? They have. Ooh. And we got at least a series on our hand, if not a powerful start by Melbourne Avant.
Now, do you like it hot, Jake? Because it just got a little bit spicy.
Sriracha, my friend.
Just got a little bit spicy in here because Avant played really well, actually. Blitz there on top of the scoreboard. Both ends of the field. Saves, shots, 3 across the board. Also in the mix. I think that for me was the difference. The fact that Blitz was getting a little bit further forward.
Chiefs do not look happy. Just look at the look on Torsos' face right there. He is not happy. And with the performance on the Chiefs there, that wasn't the Chiefs. That was not the Chiefs whatsoever. Melbourne Avant kicked this off to a flying start. But look at this, through all 3 members of the defense from Chiefs, and you're like, when does that ever happen? You see them on the international stage, fantastic rotations, they're slick, they can play fast if they need to play fast. But to put it simply, right there, that wasn't the Chiefs. So Melbourne Avant playing well, but also the Chiefs having a bit of lapse in game 1.
Well, this is a bit of a throwback to that Chiefs roster that we used to talk about that were notoriously slow starters. So getting themselves into matches used to be a real difficulty for them, but once they got going, they were fine. The floodgates started to open. They didn't really look comfortable in that match whatsoever.
Like last week as well.
Exactly, and you know, it was Avant leading from the front there. They really took it to the Chiefs. And that's the way that they needed to play. They needed to play aggressive. They needed to get those bumps in, those demolitions in. But more importantly, they needed to just make sure that they were converting all the chances they got, because Chiefs don't give you many chances, And in that regard, they did a great job.
Remember, for Melbourne Avant, they have not played a series where they've either been 3-0'd or they have done the 3-0ing. So this is a good start. Now, it is a best of 7, so the semi-finals changes that dynamic a little bit. But for Melbourne Avant, this is the start you want against the best team in OCE and one of the best teams in the world. If Game 2 is the same, then Melbourne Avant, they could just change fate here in the Elite Series for Gfinity.
And for Plitz, you know, it's you either 3-0 or you live long enough to see yourself be 3-0.
That's right. Well, it's going to have to be a 4-0 here. Jake for the setup. A miss there from the Chiefs again. Not really iconic of the Chiefs, but a start nonetheless. Jake with the intercept comes through, and City Chief trying to kick this one off to a flying start. Of course, has set it up nicely. Tries to dunk down onto Plitz. Zen hanging back as well, but that's saved from Sammy. Crucial as Jake brings it back. Trippe now in as well, but that touch from Jake. Trying to get it through. Maybe it works out as Torsos goes wide. Hits the side post, and another shot from the Chiefs that has just been narrowly missed.
Very, very testing start there for Avant. Chiefs coming out of the gates a little bit hotter than they were in the last match. And that has just asked a few questions of the defence. So far, there's been a few tense moments there. That ball just going across, hitting the upright, but Chiefs are maintaining this pressure, keeping that ball high in their opposition's half.
Getting more shots here, Jim Nesso. Sydney Chiefs actually having a lot more control. This is different from Game 1. In front of net again. As I say that, Melbourne Avant are right where they need to be. They'll hit that backboard and Trippe. Now the dribble comes into play. Zen intercepts, but Jake's still there. The pass. Communication, not sure what's going on. They may have left it for Trippe, but it's not going to be enough. Blitz dribbles it through the midfield, pops it up for himself, and Zen is coming in hot. He's waiting for Sammy to get the touch on the ball, but he's missed it. So now he commits forward, the pitch across the wall, and walks his way with the ball itself. Sammy now going forward. This is the shot. Sammy goes over it. A couple of mistakes from both teams here. No goal netted so far.
Just looking for those infield passes, weren't they? We're just looking for someone to be on the end of him. But the pass actually never eventuated. So in terms of what Avant need to do is they need to just try and keep maintaining this pace and keeping Chiefs at bay. It's been a very to and fro game so far in terms of who's dictated a lot of the pace, who's actually gone forward. This could be a good pass here from Zen, but it just gets a little bit too much on it.
I think that's all right. I think Blitz is going to come through. There's a good angle on the goal. It'll hit that back wall, and Trippe doesn't get the best touch. Zen bangs it towards net. Torsos there to defend. The pressure being applied by Melbourne Avant. Now the change-up as Torsos again. Solo plays coming through, but not working out. Melbourne Avant, I have not seen this much control against the Chiefs from them, ever.
I don't think I've seen a lot of control from them in this regard. Other than last week, this is a different Avant from what we've seen in the first 4 weeks of Gfinity Elite Series. Week 5, they came to life. Week 6 here in the playoffs, they're a much better team than what we've seen in the past. They've grown into this series. They played quite well. And they need to just maintain this for the rest of the 2 minutes and 10 seconds that do remain. Otherwise, Chiefs are going to find a way back in.
Good block there by Sammy. And again, a lot of defensive moments there from Melbourne Avant. Chiefs keep having shot after shot. And you got to say, when will the pressure break there from Melbourne Avant? They just turn it onto the attack and maybe never. A minute 50, you notice the time. It's ticking down with no goal scored just yet. So could just be that golden goal that secures game number 2. Blitz now for the centre, but Sammy's already walked forward. It's left for Zen. He pops it up, tries to individually take it himself, and Sammy will get demoed, so the play is halted. A minute 30 remaining, and the Chiefs just set themselves back up. Sammy reading the ball quite well.
That was a key demolition there too, because that attack was phased out, basically because they didn't have a person looking for that pass from Zen. There wasn't that third phase of play, and that demolition was really key in that. But chance here for the Chiefs as Jake tries to pop it up. But it is really well dealt with here by Avant. They're dealing with the pressure so well. They're dealing with the clearances, and they're not letting Chiefs get back into it. They're actually first that ball, and there's a pass.
Great pass to Blitz, but Trippe reads it. And it's that moment that defines if the Chiefs are maybe going to lose this game number 2. They're right in front of net, but 2 members may miss. Blitz hangs back. Boost being denied. See if Chiefs can get anything done, but Sammy just dribbling the ball himself. He beats out Trippe from the corner. A great touch to Torsos, but he'll just net the corner once again. Blitz will use the rebound, sets it up for himself, and Zen's already gone back. Rotation's a little better here from Melbourne Avant, but 40 seconds remaining, and right now the Chiefs, this passing play, will it be the only goal? They angle it towards net, but Sammy again, another saviour. And one that Melbourne Avant are counting on. 30 seconds remaining and still no goal here. The Chiefs, an opportunity. Torsos the shot.
Oh,
Save there from Blitz.
Blitz coming in at the right moment there and now. Looking for that all-out attack here. Just Zen trying to push that ball forward, looking for that backward pass, but this is chalk and cheese.
Oh, but
compared
hang
to the
on.
first game.
The pass is there. Melbourne Avant. That is why you don't take your eye off the ball here. Blitz carries it through, and two defenders aren't enough for Sammy to steal the ball away. And he says, thank you for the platform. Melbourne Avant, 7 seconds.
The first game, it was 7 goals. Second game, a single goal separates them. Same result though. Avant, against all odds here, have come out of the gates firing. Nobody predicted this. Everybody had written them off.
But hang on, the Chiefs have to keep it up. Close. Remember, it's not over till that ball hits the ground, but game 2, Melbourne Avant. Hello.
Hello. They're here. They've arrived on the Gfinity victory stage. This is big for me. Looking at that scoreboard there, Jake, 5 shots, conversion rate, none. Don't really often see that from the Chiefs. And Drippe, very, very quiet there. No shots from him on goal. There was not a lot of saves, to be fair. There wasn't a lot of creation from both these two teams. But Avant, they have really surprised here.
But you know what? The defense from Avant, I see improvements over the week. I see this is the pinnacle where they're able to hold out the Chiefs. But again, the Chiefs may not be performing their best, but Melbourne Avant are. And that's the difference. They brought their game face on the day. And in this second game, there was 1 goal. You're going to see about 20 seconds of highlights, by the way. There was only 1 goal. But Melbourne Avant, they take game 2. And now the series instantly becomes a danger for the Chiefs. If the Chiefs get knocked out in the semi-finals, that would be a massive upset.
Well, that throws this competition right out, doesn't it? Everybody...
Oh, not in the bin, but, you know, out
in
somewhere
terms of, like, predictability.
Yeah, because if I throw something out, it goes in the bin.
In that second semi-final coming up, we've got ground 0 up against Auto, and that's a closely contested match. So, I mean, either of these two teams now could potentially look in, but we're a long way away from that. It is still only 2 games in. This is a best-of-7 series. If this was a best-of-5, I'd be a little bit worried. But now that it's an extended series, the best-of-7.
Yeah, Zen put his hand up and said 1 more, but I think 2. I hope he's not confused about the format there. If someone wants to whisper in his ear, it's the best-of-7, that'd be great.
1 more won't hurt.
No.
You need 2 more.
No, you do need 2 more. We're going to game 3 now, Melbourne Avant. They've surprised us already. Let's see what else they can do. A miss there, that's crucial. Sammy for the first shot. And already Melbourne Avant, they're just layering down that defense of the Chiefs, not letting them get out.
They're playing very direct early, aren't they? They're very much putting pressure straight away on that goal, looking for that backboard, looking to draw a save out of the goalkeeper as well. And that signals intent here, but there is a loose ball.
Well, hang on, Drippe, crossbar bounces down. That second touch. You're going to have to see it from this angle because that one doesn't do it credit. Oh, no, it does do it credit. That was worse. Unfortunate for Blitz there. I thought Jake came in. I'm like, wow, Jake, how'd you get there so fast?
Yeah, the second touch actually came from a defender there.
I guess not. Yeah, Blitz is a little bit unfortunate. There's the first goal immediately. An open one, no. Drippe will clear.
Very direct approach from Avant. Needs to be maintained, but there is concerns here for the defense. A little bit slow to get back, but just not quite on target at the moment, the Chiefs. But they're doing a much better job of this match here. They've been the first ones to score, whereas Avant, in the last 2 games, have, been the first to score in every single one of them, haven't they?
Was a mistake there from Melbourne Avant. So, look, when I can talk up Melbourne Avant, I definitely will take that opportunity. 4 minutes remaining, and 1 mistake does not dictate a game, so let's see how they bounce back. Off the backboard, they use the momentum and Blitz. You can see what he was trying to do there. Melbourne Avant just couldn't kick it off. Immediately onto that offense again for Sydney Chiefs. Intercept crucial from Sammy, but use that pace of the ball once again. Drippe sends it right back down from this wall. Jake now setting it up for the Chiefs to take the play off that. Great bump, but Blitz, a fantastic save. And that's what you need from Melbourne Avant to keep them alive. Sammy crosses it into the midfield. Blitz is up for the ball, but Torsos there first to enable Jake. No, Blitz has actually gotten the ball. Jake missed it. And these crucial mistakes that are working out for Melbourne Avant net them right back in front of that goal square.
And they're keeping that ball locked in, aren't they, Avant? They're just making sure the Chiefs are constantly under pressure here. But Drippe just looking for that touch down into the net. That is not an easy goal to score, mind you. And he's made it look so easy.
That double touch was beautiful and an open net, yes. But Drippe looking to be back in form here in Game 3. And the Sydney Chiefs starting to climb their way back here in Game 3 as well. 3 minutes remaining.
But just need to recapture the vibe that was the first two matches. Get themselves back into that space where they were first to the ball. They've been doing a good job of just disrupting that passing play of the Chiefs. And making sure they're first to that ball is a great way of keeping that pressure on for Chiefs.
Pass by Zen. Melbourne Avant. You spoke of pressure, Jim Nesso. I completely agree. It's been a series of pressure so far. Pass from Drippe. Taken by Zen. The bounce off that wall will go over to Sammy, but this is not a good pass. Jake doesn't get freedom with it. Torsos clears it to the other side of the field. And for Drippe, waiting on the wing. Now for Torsos again, punches it up. Sydney Chiefs, this works out for them. But a couple of pinches going right for Melbourne Avant. Not that you really expect them to. But 2 minutes 10. For Zen, wins that one over. Can Melbourne Avant do anything else with the ball? Looks like it's slowed down and in favour of the Chiefs. They're getting more freedom with the ball. And again, this one is towards goal, sort of. Maybe this one will be. The Sydney Chiefs go wide, but still, it's about playing with time here in Game 3.
That's right now.
Oh,
Here we go.
he does it. What a pop-up.
That is fantastic work from him. And he's just run this down too. That little pop here over Drippe. Quite nice in the end. And once you see that open net, it's such a relief to score. Avant are now back in this. Melbourne Avant are looking much better now. They've done a good job of the first couple minutes.
From zero to hero. Blitz's story in the Gfinity Elite Series.
Well, he's
literally
more than doubled his total for the season in one series.
Well, Chiefs, right now they're still on the good side of the field, so that is a great start from Melbourne Avant, or will it be a great finisher to still look competitive in Game 3? A minute 30 remaining, and they're able to punish the Chiefs, but that's off the solo play. A miss there again, and Jake outplays Melbourne Avant's defense.
And that has potentially killed off momentum that Avant were looking to build on, because a goal in that situation, and Avant, they needed to be the next to score to just maintain that constant pressure on the Chiefs. And I mean, the longer this series goes, the more I feel as though it favours Chiefs, because Chiefs have experience playing extended series. They have that experience that comes from the international play.
Oh, they've played best of sevens and,
exactly.
Qualifiers, yeah.
And managing your energy levels across the course of those 7 games, it's not an easy task. So for a young side like Avant, that is going to be tested here now, because this looks to be going more than what we expected it to. At least 6 games if Chiefs are going to win it.
I bring up again 3-0 or 0-3. That's the score line that Melbourne Avant have played by. A close call there in front of net. Jake looking for the demo. Aggressive play coming out of the Chiefs. There's 50 seconds remaining from that corner. Torsos has set it up once again, but Blitz should have his way with the ball. From the corner, a slow bounce, one that Drippe can play with again. Doesn't have boost, but doesn't really need it. A nice setup. Probably could have left it, but that's okay. Still, lead by 2 goals in the Sydney Chiefs. I think they've played the time game well here. Melbourne Avant should be dropping this 3rd game. And then we're back into the eye line of the series.
So much left to play here. In terms of 20 seconds of Rocket League, a lot can happen in that time. But Avant, they're going to need to
optimistic
score now.
Optimistic, Jim Nesso.
Mr. Optimism. I don't know if you've seen my shirts.
No, that's a little bit depressing sometimes, to be quite honest.
All right.
But 5 seconds remaining. Look, that's it. Chiefs back on top, but I'm not sure if I should say back on top. That's Game 3. That's 1 win for the Chiefs. Sitting 2-1 in the series. All right. We definitely have a series on our head.
Much better game from Chiefs. Drippe getting forward, putting pressure on, 6 shots. He was constantly harassing the goals. We saw Jake there as well, really getting behind the defence and looking for those demolitions, getting them off their game. And Avant just had some difficulty coping with that. But they did themselves credit there with Blitz just getting that release. They played really well for the first 2 minutes. It's just that they couldn't maintain that pressure because Chiefs were starting to match it. And now this is a result of playing overseas. You learn that what you play domestically doesn't always work. You need to vary your game style a lot. Chiefs have that in the bag.
But not only that, the best part of this is that Yummy Chiefs Man is again wrong, because it's not a 4-0. Sydney Chiefs cannot win 4-0, and that is not my opinion. That is a fact.
You're really going to hammer that one home.
I will hammer that home. So, look, for me, that's already a win for Melbourne Avant, but they've started this series in such a positive light. And no one would have expected them to take 2 games The series is not even over. Sydney Chiefs showing a lot of weakness here. Melbourne Avant, when they play that fast-paced game, they look nigh unstoppable.
That is true. That is true. They're looking very, very good, looking very, very comfortable. But in terms of Chiefs now, they need to get themselves a reset. They've done that. This Game 3 has provided that. But a little bit of time now to think it over before Game 4.
Well, let's see if they can reset, see if the Chiefs can start climbing their way back here in the semi-finals at the Gfinity Elite Series. We're going to have a short break, and when we return, game number 4.
Welcome back to the Gfinity Elite Series Rocket League Playoff Day. Melbourne Avant Gaming, it's 2-1 in favour of them against Sydney Chiefs. None of us saw it going this way, did we, fellas? Right, Yummy?
No, I mean, I thought it was a 4-0. Courier thought it was a 4-0 before it was happening. They've completely flipped the script. Avant are playing well. As three individuals, all three of them are doing exactly what they need to do. On the opposite side, though, Chiefs, I've never seen them struggle this hard, especially Drippe. He's had about 6 or 7 big misses that either failed to score a goal for them or led to them getting scored on.
And then you also have Torsos as well, who is like the king of goal scoring in this entire competition, like 50% more goals than everybody else in it. And he had 2 games where he didn't get a single shot. Like no goals, but no shots.
2 shots over 3 games. He almost got donuts twice.
But we have just seen Chiefs starting to play, it seems like, in that most recent game. Will they bring it back, or can Avant take this home and make their way to the finals? We'll find out. It's time to get back to gameplay. Over to you, Jim and Jake.
Sorry, Luke, I can't answer that question for you, mate. But look, we'll find out anyway, nonetheless. Game number 4 upon us, and 2-1 to Melbourne Avant. I never thought I'd be saying that ever in my life.
Well, here it is. Here's that time, and you are now saying that.
So early as well.
No one predicted this. The fact that Avant have got themselves into this matchup so early on in the piece, the fact that they're playing confidently, they're playing like a team that are the underdogs, and they're relishing it because there's no pressure on them.
And you know what? Like Luke's hair, it is a shock. Right now we go into game 4 and Melbourne Avant. Let's do it. Let's see if they can bring the pain to Sydney Chiefs or if they've been able to recover. Chiefs said 4-0. Yummy said 4-0. But 2-1 for Melbourne Avant. It's a bit of confidence, or at least it adds some into the air.
Chiefs just looking now to be the first to score again because they feel as though that's where they can put the most pressure on Avant.
Yep.
A team like Avant in this situation, I don't feel as though they're able to grind their way back into matches. They need to be the ones leading from the front or getting that goal at the very death.
Well, that's a good start there from Drippe. Does have a shot to kick things off, and talking about donuts before from the Chiefs members. Right now for Drippe, setting it up in front of net. Melbourne Avant, they're on the defense. If they're not picking the pace of this game, then they're not playing the game they want to. For Plitz, brings it down the wing. That's a hard centre that ends up going and being a clip over to Zen. The defense of Melbourne Avant, they just need to get it away. Good pass over to Zen. It'll turn into a shot. Torsos lobs it up. And for the Chiefs, what can they make do? Off the backboard, it's not defended, but Zen will get the rebound and wait for it to be sent down. Drippe, we're talking about the misses from him, but he's glad he hit that one. Pass! Oh, what a pass indeed!
And that nice little infield pass too, you can see it building in the lead up to this play, and Zen just finds Semi there. He found some space, and he's able to just put it away quite nicely. Very, very fast shot too, so...
We don't see this from Melbourne Avant.
No.
I'm as surprised as anyone. Melbourne Avant making beautiful infield passes, making passes at all. A 3-man passing play for a team of 3 individuals is what Yummy called it. I completely agree. This is a shock.
And the thing is too, normally teams try and play, I guess, a backboard style of attack against the Chiefs. You can't do that. Chiefs deal with it too well. So the infield passing is where it needs to be. The passing plays, when they're linking up and getting all 3 players involved, that's when they're looking really threatening Avant, and that's what they need to continue to stick with.
Well, they've dropped the ball right in front of net. Good angle for Zen. Another shot.
Ooh.
This is getting out of hand. This is like going to a Metallica concert and you find Enya singing on stage. And you're going, this is great, but how did this happen?
S&M. Symphony and Metallica. That's how it
It's
happens.
like Oricana flow. You just got to let it go right now and see where it takes us. Melbourne Avant, they're 2-0 up on the defensive. They try and clear the ball, and Sammy gets a good touch on it. The read there for Plitz, but he won't commit. For Zen now off the wing. What can be done here for the Chiefs on the defensive again? If this goes to 3-0, this could once again run to a negative there. Zen over the top. Plitz needs to get back into defense. Jake goes forward. Zen still in the net. Quick recoveries needed there for Melbourne Avant.
And there could be, if there's a third goal here, Avant could do an Enya and sail away. But they need to move quite quickly and clear that ball. They've dealt with it quite well. But as long as that ball lingers in the back pocket, there's danger. Chiefs are in ever-present danger.
Melbourne Avant right where they need to be again. For Drippe, the clear's wide. Jake now following it up off the wall. The Chiefs definitely on the back foot. The clear missed by Sammy. Zen will recover it. Just lobs it centre field. Zen pops it up. Oh no! It hits the crossbar. It goes in. And Zen out of 10. Look at that.
And he's looking so zen right now, so calm, so cool, collected on stage. And for a player of his age, week-on-week LAN experience on a stage has definitely done him a world of good against a team like the Chiefs. Everybody wrote them off. They stood no chance, but here they are. Game 4, 3-0 lead, and they are indeed sailing away, Jake.
Right now, you're just wondering how. The Chiefs struggling here. Torsos plays it slow, but if you're going to play slow, Zen will most often read. The mechanical player himself, 150. The ball over to Jake. A big clear from Sammy. And every clear that comes out of Melbourne Avant is more time wasted for the Chiefs. Is more time for Melbourne Avant to hold this lead in game number 4. If they can get a 3-1 start over the Chiefs, there'll be a match point against the Tyrants, against the 5th place team in the world. And that's how it's done. For Trippe dropping the ball down. The Chiefs in a good position here. They need to score now. Off the corner, it's a setup for Jake. Now Trippe, Torsos, all coming forward. They need the goal. A save close, but the Chiefs get one.
This is going to set up a nice, intense finish here. As Chiefs just get the reward for a sustained period of pressure there. And a few misses really cost Avant there.
But from both sides, there's misses from both sides. So it's really execution at this point.
Uncharacteristic too from the Chiefs, might add. They don't make these kinds of mistakes. So the pressure of the occasion could also be affecting the Chiefs more than we think it is.
Melbourne Avant do, but they commit to the play. And at this point, it's working out from the corner. Just get it out of there, Melbourne Avant are saying. A minute 10 has just passed us. Obviously, I can't read time. It's now a minute. Sydney Chiefs in the defensive side for Melbourne Avant, just trying to get it out of there. Ball in front of net, a dangerous pass. Trippe bounces it, hits the backboard. Torsos coming to dunk down. Final member, Jake, can't get through with it. And 45 seconds, dreams becoming a reality. The demo on Plitz enables the clear. Trippe goes up, he centers it, but a good read there from Plitz enables Jake maybe to drop it in anyway.
And that's all they needed, just a sustained period of pressure there, the Chiefs. Great passing play once again. Was led up to this, but they just didn't deal with it well enough there, unfortunately. They didn't get that clearance. It went straight to Jake. And this is tense moments here, Jake. I can tell you're feeling it.
30 seconds. One goal. And the Chiefs are in a dangerous situation. 2 members slice at that ball, but a pitch clear for Melbourne Avant is good news bears. 20 seconds. Now that's how you secure game 4. And my boy, did he put the beanie back on? He did not. And this is why Zen's playing so well. He lets his hair roam free. His brain cells grow even more. And this is the result.
Zen unplugged. That's what we've got. He's just found Nirvana, I dare say.
When you find Nirvana, Jim Nesso, your world turns upside down. For Melbourne Avant, it's done exactly that. 10 seconds remaining, ladies and gentlemen. And Melbourne Avant, they move to match point here. And the Chiefs face elimination in the semi-finals of the Gfinity Elite Series. And Melbourne Avant are feeling it. And why shouldn't they? Match point coming up next.
Yeah, series point too, in that regard as well, because this is single elimination. And Chiefs, this is what we, I guess, said in terms of the scenario, was that Chiefs needed to get themselves back into this, because the longer this series goes, I still do feel as though it favours Chiefs.
Look at that. Torsos is... You can see the Chiefs are so upset by this.
They are, but they've got the experience to come back from this.
They do.
And they're going to draw on all of that experience in this moment, try and get themselves recentered, get themselves going once again, because in a 7-game series, Chiefs, that's where they do have the advantage in terms of experience. Avant, they need to close this one out, because we have seen series where the younger team, they do get an advantage. They do get themselves onto series point, but they can't quite close it out. And they need to land the finishing blows here. You've got your opposition on the ropes, you just need to finish it. But this was a great game here.
Oh, that goal by Zen, though.
Avant, oh yeah.
I think that Melbourne Avant have just jumped leaps and bounds from last week. Yep. Last week was great. Don't get me wrong. Melbourne Avant, you talk about growth each and every week. But this week, Melbourne Avant have been acting like a 3-man cohesive unit. What we've asked for them for a couple of months now.
And that last goal there, that was Zen reading the passing plays.
Ooh, the intercept.
Chiefs, the intercept.
Yeah.
So faster to the ball. They're much more confident.
He's so happy with it.
He's so happy.
It's like we're a match point.
But another talking point, it was raised on the desk. Trippe, in that last game, 6 shots, 1 goal.
Yeah.
Conversion rate for them is really struggling right now. Avant are looking really comfortable in that defense.
I mean, they're pulling back on the defense when Melbourne Avant, they're under that pressure. pull out all stops. Melbourne Avant not letting those crucial goals through. They might let one, they might let two. But now we're on match point, ladies and gentlemen. If you didn't go for Melbourne Avant before, I'll let you flip-flop just this once. For the Chiefs, they could be eliminated in the semi-finals, but they have made reverse sweeps before. Not that it is one, because they already have a game, but the potential to bring it back is still there.
And this could be Avant Gaming's own Spanish Inquisition.
No one expects it.
No one expects it. Still happened though. But there's a lot of Rocket League to play. There is. Let's be real. The Chiefs, world-travelled side, a lot of experience in these ranks.
Set up nicely for Drippe. You can't defend it if you don't hit it off the backboard. Chiefs for the first goal of game 5.
So Chiefs, they're going to really knuckle down now. These sorts of chances aren't going to go begging. Drippe had struggled to score in previous matches, wants to maintain his high percentage conversion rate, and he's going to need to bang everyone in from now. Absolutely everything that comes his way, he's got to convert.
But not to mention that Melbourne Avant, in pressurous situations like this, they haven't been in this too often. It's not often that Avant find themselves in a best of 7, and right now for the Chiefs, they've been here. They've been on the brink of being eliminated, being taken out, and they've fought their way back. For Melbourne Avant, how does pressure feel? Right in the mid, Blitz loses the ball, and that's exactly how it feels.
Yeah, and Torsos, just make no mistake whatsoever. He was into that. Sammy's pass there, just not finding Blitz. Blitz was just a little bit too high for it on the field, but in terms of for the Chiefs, they got themselves off to a ripping start here in game number 5. They needed to, just to, I guess, give Avant that reality check and make sure that they know that they're still here, they're still an ever-present threat, and maybe just rattle the nerves a little bit.
Well, let's see how they go. Melbourne Avant committing up. Pass goes into Zen, who just takes it and brings it to Torsos. A wide clear that hits the wall, and it's responded to the other one. To Sammy in the midfield, setting up for Zen again. He gets it away from Torsos. Drippe on the corner, and Zen leaves it over to Sammy, but a good touch there by Drippe. Jake sends it towards net. Zen with a light touch from the Chiefs. Again, trying to clear the ball out. Still 2-0, 3 minutes remaining. How long does this stand, and will this take us to a game 6?
Whilst this has been a better performance from the Chiefs, their passing game is still not at a level that we know they're capable of. So there's still some things to work out amongst themselves. And Avant just going to maintain this pressure and keep their own passing game going as well. It's been great from Avant, I must admit. The fact that they get those infield passes going as well. That's what they've looked the most threatening. The fact that those infield passes are finding their mark.
Which is what you say about the Chiefs.
Which is what you say about the Chiefs. So the Chiefs can vary their style very much though. So it is very much a case of Avant just getting themselves back into this. They need to find a goal. This is the scenario I was talking about where Chiefs, if they lead, I don't feel as though Avant are the team that can come back into a match. They need to lead it from the get-go, particularly against these guys.
They've done exactly that. A good save by Sammy, but Chiefs still in front of that net. The clear from Blitz alleviates a lot of that pressure, but Melbourne Avant can turn this into a play. Off the backboard, Sammy plays it slow. What a bit of a reset there on the ground. Melbourne Avant, they're not done yet. Blitz drops it down, and they get it. And Melbourne Avant pepper that net like it's the inside of a sausage roll.
And Blitz just smothering that clearance attempt as well. And that boost usage just to make sure of it. I dare say it was going in already, but he wanted to make absolutely sure that that was going in. And Avant, they found a way back into this. At the moment, the series score 3-1. Chiefs, they desperately need this. This is series point for them, so they need to hold on.
But Melbourne Avant, that one goal puts you on edge, doesn't it? Just a little bit. And the Chiefs on the offense. Angling that one towards net. Drippe will hit the wall. And now for Torsos, not the best touch. It enables Sammy to clear it upfield. Blitz is there. Tries to roll it past the Sydney Chiefs defense. 1 minute 50 as Jake comes off the roof. Drippe doesn't get the touch. And immediately again, we're at the point where Chiefs are on the defense. And this is not where they've been performing here in this series. Off the roof, incoming. As Melbourne Avant not done. Zen angles it towards, comes close. Blitz brings it back off the wall. Look at this, the touches from Melbourne Avant. But the issue is they've all committed up. And if the Chiefs get a big shot, one with a much of speed, then they're in trouble.
They need to deal with this here, Avant. They've done a good job so far. That passing play from them has been superb. But the issue that Chiefs are facing right now is the fact that Avant, they're starting to believe in themselves. They're starting to believe the fact that them beating this Chiefs roster in this series is indeed possible. The Chiefs are going to hope to squash that belief very, very shortly here. They need to be the next to score to just really kill off any confidence and momentum that Avant are starting to muster.
A minute remaining off that wall, not defended. Drippay slides through, 50 seconds, and Chiefs might have done enough despite Avant's attempted comeback.
They needed to be the next to score, and that is Drippay there again. Just looking a lot more comfortable in front of goals this game. We, I guess, looked at his conversion rate in previous matches. Hasn't been up to his usual standard. And I think that's the thing here that's really bugging Chiefs, is the fact that they hold themselves to really high standards, and they're not performing at them right now.
Well, it's good to see the competitive nature here in OCE. Has reached a bit of a pinnacle. Blitz doesn't get the ball pass, brings it to a standstill instead. Drippay dribbling the ball. It'll be given back over to Blitz. 30 seconds. Melbourne Avant going gung-ho as Sammy sets it up off that backboard. Torsos misses. The final nail in the coffin is then. Drippay's up for it though. And that miss from Melbourne Avant could have been the start of it. But 20 seconds remaining. Still in the Chiefs' defense. 1 goal possible, but 2. Maybe a bit hard at this point. This one's going to be breached through. That's another one. And Torsos will get it. 4-1. Game 5, the Chiefs have clawed their way back.
They have, and they've looked much more comfortable in this match. As we said, though, the passing play from them hasn't been up to their usual standard. So, in terms of what Chiefs need to do, they need to get themselves on the right track now. Get those passing plays going. That's where they're at their strongest. The fact that Jake, Torsos, Drippay, they've all played together for so long. The chemistry's there. The communication should follow. But Avant have done themselves a world of credit here. I didn't think we'd be seeing a match number 6 so hotly contested.
Well, I don't think anyone would see a game number 5, to be quite honest. So here we are. The Chiefs, have a sip. That's what you need. Right now,
drink that through.
There's a problem.
Drink it in.
The Chiefs are still a match point, though, for 2 more games. So now 3-2. The Chiefs need to equalise. They then need to, in Game 7, take away that match point from Melbourne Avant Gaming. And Zen's still happy. I think for Melbourne Avant, I think Melbourne Avant are like, we didn't think we'd get here. I'm not trying to pull down their confidence. I thought they were noise-cancelling headphones, by the way, but I guess not, if they can hear me.
There's certain noises you can't cancel, Jake.
What, like mine?
Yeah.
Right. Unfortunate. Not sure if it's probably a negative for the players, but that's all right.
We just don't have the technology yet.
We can build it.
We can build.
We can rebuild it.
We can rebuild him. And this is what Chiefs actually need to do, is the fact they need to rebuild themselves into the series here. Blitz, for a moment there, things got really tense, and Avant was starting to go forward, starting to believe in the fact that they could get themselves here. But that goal from Drippay right there, that for me was the momentum sealer. That was basically saying to Avant that you can't come back into this. Chiefs are taking the game concisely. And that goal in the end, they're just icing on the cake. Torsos needs that, confidence, because he hasn't been performing at the level we've seen.
None of them have been performing at the level we've seen. There's been passing plays that have been a bit sloppy. When the Chiefs went over, when they absolutely stopped, squashed, and sneezed on Envy, they looked so convincing. This is not the Chiefs that's come off that international victory. It's not the Chiefs that have placed 5th in the world and have walked over a couple of teams on their way. This is the Chiefs that have come back off an international experience and are now faltering at what was meant to be pitted as our 4th place team here in the Gfinity Elite Series. Still a match point in Game 6. And now it'll be up to them to silence the Chiefs here for Season 1.
Well, basically, what that's saying to me is forget about what you know in terms of the regular season.
Yes.
Different teams come finals. Avant really rising to the occasion. Chiefs, they need to take it to Game 7 here if they want this series. They want that grand finals berth here in the Gfinity Elite Series. And it's a lot of pressure on their shoulders, but I think they're capable. And they know that too.
Well, it starts right here. Blitz got it all the way through Jake. Torsos clears it back down. Melbourne Avant only 30 seconds apart. They've held out on the defense in that one attacking play. The Chiefs have brought it right back off that back wall. They need to defend it, and Blitz, a good touch there. Torsos was ready to dominate and smack it down. Again in a good position. Drippay off that back wall. Ready for Jake. No one's defended it. Torsos, the final member. Sammy comes into a collision path. And the Sydney Chiefs can't find it. So a good start from Melbourne Avant, but Sydney Chiefs, that attack just does not stop, it seems like.
Just dealing with their balls in. Maintaining that pressure. That ball needs to go forward though. And Chiefs are doing a good job of just meeting it now, getting those passing plays going. Tripay doesn't get on the end of that there. He's beaten out in the end, but
It's just not ending though. The attack is staying down here with that demo as well. They'll be able to reset, pick up boost, and just go for it again. Corsair slow to the ball, which Melbourne Avant, with a good read there, will be able to handle Dripay. In a pretty good position, but there's the shot saved by Corsair. The Melbourne Avant, one attack that they make turns out pretty good. But with the clear, we're just back to where we started. So one play, one shot. Melbourne Avant have the ability to change.
Avant looking far more confident in this series than we've ever seen them play before, to be honest.
Yeah, cannot be understated.
And it's all through the hard work of Zen, but Torsos, player on that Dominus, usually so confident in front of goals.
I think it's
normally converting at such a high rate.
I think it's Blitz as well, on that note. I know they'll talk about it a little bit on the desk. We've got to pause now! And that's why we paused. That was either a fake from Blitz. Sammy lobs it. Either way, Torsos couldn't defend it. Goes sweeping past, and Melbourne Avant for the first goal of Game 6. And all I have to say is all four of us casters could be dead wrong in the best way possible. 1-0 start for Melbourne Avant. Let's see if they can hide it in front of the net. Dripay sweeps it away with the help of Torsos. Speed on the ball again. With that clear, crucial start, the bounce from Zen will work out for Sammy. Dripay's there in the corner and the ball going a little bit fast. Now an opportunity for Blitz on the corner again. Jake tries to dribble it out. Dripay drops to the ball but does nothing with it. And now for Zen, has a bit of boost to play with. We'll just leave it for Sammy to respond as Torsos, Jake, they rebound with the ball. The defense holding out strong for Melbourne Avant. An issue here as Sammy lobs it down. Blitz is coming in, but a touch away by Torsos.
Just resets things momentarily, but Zen, keep that ball in the danger area. Blitz very nearly. Got a redirect on that one, but it is cleared there by Dripay, so at least a moment's reprieve that allows them to get some boost. Sammy. In the meantime, Torsos is standing watch over that goal, but so direct right now, Avant. They're looking for that backboard. They're putting the pressure on Chiefs. They're making them use up what little boost they do have, and it's really telling. But they get themselves a release here. And they're going to try and keep that ball in the danger area for Avant. So it's Avant now that has to do the defending. And they've been looking like they're rising to the challenge quite well.
But it's not the ability of Chiefs to be shut out on the defense. They can turn it very, very quickly, as you can see here. Melbourne Avant left on the defense, but slow clear, sloppy clear there from Zen, in fact, and that touch not going to work out for them. But Blitz, the hero that they need, and also the one that they deserve. At this point, all of Melbourne Avant deserve what they're getting. 1 minute 20. A bump away from Jake. The ball comes to a standstill. Time's running out for the Chiefs. Torsos knows this. Goes to the dribble. Zen goes up. Mechanical Man reads the ball well. But Dripay, what can he get done from the corner? Defense holds out. Melbourne Avant. Still that one goal. The 1 minute time is here. And now with that clock ticking down ever so slightly, the Chiefs are on the brink of destruction here, but the goal is wide open. Zen clears it away.
Chiefs looking to build this attack in here. They need to deal with that. They do quite well here, Avant, with the infield play. They ask questions of the goalkeeper, and they do save it, but the ball is still in play here. Chiefs looking for that pass in the field. They can't quite find it, and Avant just give themselves some breathing room.
30 seconds remaining. Dripay with the shot. Sammy's up. Saves it. Crucial. The pressure doesn't feel like it's hitting Melbourne Avant. 20 seconds remaining. Jake up for the ball. It'll hit the backboard. Blitz angles it away. Dripay from the corner. Is this the defeat of the Chiefs? Torsos goes wide. They don't get the shot. Jake hits high. Dripay there. There. What a bump there from Jake, doing what he does best. Opens the net for the Chiefs. And with 6 seconds remaining, they stay alive for now.
And if the Chiefs told you that they don't feel pressure, they're certainly going to be feeling it now. The closest thing that they've had in terms of domestic challenges is in the Gfinity Elite Series. But
Blitz to Sammy from the back wall in front of net. Zen comes back in. They don't really have the angle to play with. They just wanted to hit the ground and they will. Okay. Overtime, Game 6.
Pause, breathe.
Why should we?
No, you're right. And Chiefs, have they done enough here? This is still potential for Avant to win this series.
That's not good. Melbourne Avant, it's angling towards net. Hits wide and Torsos plays slow with it. Sammy's there. The rebound is there. Shot doesn't come through. Blitz waiting on the right wing. He goes over the ball. Sammy rebounds it as well. Melbourne Avant is pressure hitting home. We're not sure as Drip 8 hits into Blitz instead of the ball. Sammy's there for the banger. Denied. Zen again. Cross field. And Torsos just gets it out of there, but Sammy's waiting here, Jim Nesso and Melbourne Avant. The shot there! There! He's done it! He has beaten the Chiefs! Sydney Chiefs go down! And Melbourne Avant are through to the final against all odds! Against all odds! Melbourne Avant have crushed the Chiefs and have created the upset.
Throw out your notes. Forget everything that you know. There, they're gone. And deservedly so. Avant have done what was touted as the impossible. Nobody was beating the Chiefs until today.
They are absolutely shattered, but Melbourne Avant. This is what happens when you give Sammy a good shave. This is what happens when you take the beanie off his end. They come alive. They are stoked. They're absolutely surprised that they put on their best performance here today. And the upset as they move into the finals to verse the winner of Ground Zero in order.
And that man in the middle of Avant there, Blitz, he was a revelation for them. In his first games, he was going forward, giving them a massive outlet as well. But in that particular last match, he wasn't as influential, but he did enough.
I'll tell you who did enough. Zen, when you get that overtime goal, that's what happens. Chiefs right now,
Oh yeah.
a little bit beside themselves and not the best day for the Chiefs. Everyone has an off day. You know, that's what I can add to that. Everyone has an off day, and unfortunately the Chiefs were just not at their best. But again, I say it, Melbourne Avant were.
And there it is, Zen. Pure relation. He has found Nirvana.
He's found Enya and Nirvana all in the same day.
There was a lot of things happening in that cast. That is for sure.
A lot of things happening.
But there's
in
a
that
lot
game.
to break down.
Well, where do you start, though? For Melbourne Avant, acting like a team, let's start right there. I think individual play always came into it. They were great individual players. But this is the first time that I've seen successful passing plays with a majority hit rate rather than, you know, a lot of the time, let's be honest, there've been some misses in the past. There've been some failed three-man pass plays. Not today.
No. And I think the thing is, too, they dealt with the pressure so well. There was a lot of shots being created from the Chiefs in some of those matches.
Yeah.
Not a high conversion rate, though.
Doesn't matter at the end of the day. Game 6, they've taken it away. Melbourne Avant create the upset. It's back to you, Luke.
Holy heck. What an upset. First match of the day. Who would have thought? No one here would have thought it was going to go Advanced Gaming way. I mean, what do you say? I guess it's like if you're at a Metallica concert, you know, and like Enya turns up, like it's great. But how the heck did it happen? More great analogies like that after the break. We're going to take a quick break and then we're going to get into what happened during that match. Why did the Chiefs lose? How did Avant win? Don't go anywhere. We're going to be talking about it with our amazing analysts right here. Rocket League brought to you by Astro Headsets and Dare Ice Coffee. We'll see you real soon.
Mr. Murray, have you decided on a name?
We're thinking Callum.
Calamari.
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 Let's make it Jack.
Drink it through with Dare Iced Coffee.
Welcome back to the Gfinity Elite Series, where we've just seen a huge upset. Then we see Avant Gaming. Their minds were blown. They didn't think they could do it, and they did it. Look at Zen. His beanie's off, his head's exploding. Amazing, amazing play here. This is why we're so excited to have the Gfinity Elite Series in Australia for these kind of upsets. No one called it. None of our casters, none of our analysts thought that they could take down the Chiefs, but they did. They absolutely did. And the captain is joining us here at the desk. Huge round of applause, guys, from Melbourne Avant Gaming. Come on, make some noise. Sleepy Sunday morning crowd, barely responsive. Dude, congratulations, man. I mean, I saw you guys up there. You were elated. Was it a shock that when it was happening?
Honestly, like, we went up the first 2 games and we were like, there's no way this is happening. Like, we actually got to take it. And we took the 3rd game and it was like, this is definitely happening. We're doing it. So.
What about when it went to overtime? Like, I mean, God, the tension must have been insane.
Yeah, we were a bit scared when they scored it with 6 seconds left in that last game. Like, we got a bit nervous coming into the overtime, but, you know, we did what we had to do. We pulled out the win.
Oh, congratulations, man. Yeah.
What a time to pull it out, though. If you're going to pick a day to have a win, it would be to upset Chiefs, like 18-month perfect win streak on a live stage, in live audience, on TV with a huge prize pool. So you guys, you pick it pretty well.
You really do have to focus on that. It was the first time Chiefs have lost at LAN for over 18 months. They've been dominant for so long, and they're out in 3rd place here in the Gfinity Elite Series. And now it's Avant going into the grand final, and if you play the way that you did, you have a good chance there too.
Yeah.
What was the difference for you guys there? Like, Chiefs obviously had a bad day, but what do you feel the difference for you was as a team?
We were just hitting our passes a bit better than we normally do. So a lot of our infield passes were connecting and we were able to score because they weren't really defended too well. I definitely think Chiefs had a pretty bad day today. We got away with some goals we probably shouldn't have, but we played pretty well overall. So
something that I saw you guys do a lot more than usual is slow the ball down and be willing to take your time.
Yep.
And especially when Chiefs are sort of struggling a little bit, that worked really well.
Yep.
Is that confidence coming just from the fact that you were the heavy underdogs, or is it because Zen was so excited, yelling, "Oh my God!" and "Don't throw," and just having the time of his life?
A bit of both, yeah. That's something we've been practicing this week as well, slowing the ball down when we need to, because it's been a big problem in the past, just giving the ball away all the time. So I think we did it well today. Zen scored a really good goal from doing that.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, let's get into some analysis actually while we're talking. Let's look at some of the goals. Let's keep it moving. Let's have a look at some of the sweet goals that happened and some of the amazing play we saw from Avant Gaming there.
Because you guys had a sort of a rough start of the season. You weren't really playing that much together as a team.
Yep.
Part of that, I'd say, is your fault, Blitz.
Probably.
But coming in,
Bring a man down while he's on a win.
it really feels like that practice right now, that's where it's all coming to a head.
Yeah, I mean, we've put in so much work over the course of the Gfinity Elite Series, so, you know, it's really paying off. Week after week, we've been improving steadily, and, I mean, we took down the Chiefs, so can't complain.
We're seeing some of the sweet goals in front of us right now. I mean, we really were. I mean, you guys did have a good day, but also, I mean, like we were talking a lot about this during the game, weren't we? That we weren't seeing the form we've seen from the Chiefs so far this series, all over the world, were we?
That was an important moment as well. Game 2, it was 0 apiece. That was the chance for Chiefs to really get into the series. And it was such an indicator the way that goal happened, with Drippe and Jake sitting on the back wall getting confused, because as soon as they were missing and as soon as Drippe had like 6 whiffs in a row, that was when the team trust broke down. So they were double committing, they were even triple committing, and Avant are going to punish that every time.
You can like juxtapose that against the defenses coming out of the team from Avant, where their defense was really good. You're seeing Drippe, even if he was having whiffs, he was still getting 6 shots multiple game after game after game. So the defense that Avant was bringing to hold that back, despite the sheer number of shots coming through, was truly special.
There was a lot of clutch moments as well. I think Sammy, right in that last game, got these 2 amazing saves, but throughout the series, it really felt like Sammy was the center factor, you'd say maybe the glue of the team.
The glue, yeah, the classic glue. He played really well. I mean, his defense was pretty on point today. He had a few whiffs here and there that we probably should have scored off of, but I mean, yeah, he played incredible. So did Zen, so did everyone. So happy.
How did you feel about the Chiefs play as well? Like, you were coming in, I don't think you're as confident as you said in your interview. You came in, were you surprised right at the start when they weren't playing up to par?
Yeah, so we got a few pretty early goals that, you know, boosted our confidence, but they were off the back of some whiffs from Drippe, I think.
Yeah.
He wasn't really playing up to standard, the usual Drippe that we see. So that helped us, you know, win some games, but yeah.
I think your mental fortitude as a team was something that we really saw that differentiated you from Chiefs. Like when you guys are behind, you guys still sometimes can get motivated and you can spiral yourself up. And then on the flip side, we did see Torsos just slowly go into the depths of despair. As you know, Zen and you were just getting more hyped and cheering, and I think that really really shows you guys were confident as it started to build.
Yeah, well, as the series went on, so we had the 2-game lead, and as soon as we went down, we knew that we had a buffer there, so we could afford to lose some goals and not get.
But I mean,
down
this moment right here, right? This must have been.
that was something.
Must have been packing your dacks then. Like holy tamale.
Yeah, I was watching the clock the whole time during that last 30 seconds, praying that they didn't score because we were under so much pressure.
Then Zen, the hero of the match. Look at that. There you boys go popping off. And rightfully so.
Exciting moment.
To give you context as well, Zen was popping off like that the entire series. We could hear him, the entire crowd could hear him just shouting, oh my God, let's do it, let's go.
Yeah,
it was great.
He was getting pretty loud, it was good.
Through to the grand final. Congratulations, man. Congratulations to the whole team. Right now, though, we do have to head back to Ash, who's hanging out with Jake. It must be tough. How's he doing, Ash?
Yeah, look, it is pretty tough here. Thank you so much for talking to me, Jake. Look, it was a tough game. It's your first OCE land loss, in 18 months. So what happened there? Were you guys feeling the pressure?
There wasn't much pressure. I think we just really had an off day. I was feeling pretty uncomfortable. Just the team wasn't really gelling as well as we normally do. So, yeah.
Was there anything about Avant that surprised you today? Was anyone in particular or just the team in general?
Their teamwork was really good today. They've been a team who's always been a bit over the place, but they looked pretty organised and didn't let us any easy goals.
Was there anything prep-wise today that you think you might have missed that might have helped you a lot today?
No, we were prepping pretty well. We definitely didn't see this coming, just a really random off day.
Do you think that you'll come back for Season 2? Did you enjoy Season 1? We hope to see you come back because you guys played excellently. I'm sorry for your off day today.
Well, didn't enjoy today, but we'll be back, yeah.
Great. I look forward to seeing you and best of luck for everything coming up with you, and I will see you at the end of the year.
Sweet, thanks.
Thanks. Back to you, Luke.
Yeah, he looks a bit shaken, a bit worse for wear. I mean, it must be tough. I mean, surely they would never have predicted it to play out that way, hey, Yummy?
I mean, the story you have with these teams is they practice constantly. These guys put in 40 hours a week. They treat it as their life almost. For Drippe, it is his life. He is a full-time player. He doesn't go to university. And so when you are putting every single moment thinking about Rocket League, when your entire heart is in it, when you've worked so hard and you're that young and you don't have any other big life experiences that you're looking forward to, this is the kind of moment that sends you reeling, sends you into shock.
I understand. And as another 19-year-old myself, I having moments like that in my life already, in my teenage years, I empathise. Now, Korea, what do they do coming out of this? Because I know you can put it down to an off day, I guess, something like that, but I guess a team like Chiefs can't afford to have an off day playing at the level they're at, yeah?
Well, we haven't seen anything like this ever from Chiefs. Even on a bad day, they still normally play significantly better than this. And you rarely see all of them struggle this bad. You will have days where maybe Drippe might be off or Torsos is off, but the other one can pick up the slack and just drag the team forward. Yeah. But this is like nothing else.
That was really important to say, that Torsos is normally the one picking up when Drippe is going down, but Torsos went in a spiral, and I think they're definitely the kind of team that get into their own heads. As soon as they make a miss or a few misses, it makes it worse and worse. You saw them afraid to challenge. That's why when Avant was spending their time, it was so successful, because no one on Chiefs was ready to go and attack. All of their touches were timid. They weren't trying to bang it. They were just trying to get it on target, and it meant a lot of their shots were savable.
And I think the way that pans out as well is a situation where normally if you're watching Avant, you might be thinking they're being a little bit too greedy right now by pushing so far forward. But the fact that Chiefs couldn't convince themselves they needed that clear and they would double commit and lose possession and almost set up a pressure play for Avant to punish them with led to these situations just not being broken from.
Well, Chiefs weren't able to finish off their pressure plays. They had moments where they were there for an entire minute on attack, getting shot after shot, but there was no pass play, there was no cohesion, there was no trust, there was no cross-field player to finish off any of those goals, which meant that the team, Avant, who were actually worrying about defense and not doing their normal mistake of rushing onto attack, were able to hold on.
All right, well, that is enough RIP for Sydney Chiefs right now. They'll be back, I believe in them. They'll regroup. Right now, let's find out who the Astro MVP is for that match. Who is it, fellas? I have a feeling I know which team it's from, but who is it?
It was a tough battle between two players this week, Zen and Sammy, who both had great performances in different ways, but it went across to Zen, who was finishing it off and finished off the entire day. He was brilliant in the midfield, and most importantly, he was brilliant off the field.
And the beautiful thing for him is that this was his first goal against Chiefs, and then he got multiple of them. And the fact he hyped up his team, I think, not only helped his team stay ahead in that mental game. When we talked about, they dropped that game and they had that buffer, staying up was important. But I also wouldn't be surprised if Chiefs could hear him. He was so incredibly loud when he's like, the woos, the don't throw. That would have got in their head.
Yeah, and he was playing really well off his teammates. He was positioning well. And when I talk about Zen, I don't normally talk about positioning. But this time, he was in the right spot, and Sammy and Zen combined for so many goals.
Well done, Zen. You are the Astro MVP for that match.